You got it.
Poop milk? Yeah. I'm supposed to get the antibiotic. Okay.
Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. It's Kaysley. If you haven't already, make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. So much has happened since we last left off. I am now a mother of 2. My baby boy was born on February 3rd at 12:54 a.m. It was a crazy delivery. So if you haven't already seen my previous video, I did the Midwife Brew. And for those of you who don't know what the Midwife Brew is, it's basically something that just sends you into labor. My official due date was February 1st. So I'm telling you that I had him on the 3rd, which means that I was more than overdue pregnant. And I decided to do the Midwife Brew to kind of kick things off. I basically just wanted to get the labor started. So I took the Midwife Brew, and then I decided to stay at home for a while to make sure that I was in active labor before I actually went to the hospital, because as you know, if you're not at least 4 centimeters dilated, the hospital will send you home. As you're gonna see, like in my video, the nurse actually told me that they weren't gonna keep me and that I should walk around for like 2 hours and then come back. But I was in so much pain that I just couldn't do that. So I took the Midwife Brew, I stayed home for a while, and I walked and I walked. I did a lot of walking, even from days prior to taking the Midwife Brew. Unfortunately, it did nothing for me. I was still 0 centimeters by the time I got to the hospital, which is absolutely crazy. So back to when I took the Midwife Brew. I took the Midwife Brew and I literally walked around my apartment. I walked the halls. I just walked until I basically couldn't take the pain anymore. And then Savannah and I actually decided to do the baby mama dance, baby, whatever.
When the song come on, let me see you get gone. Baby mamas, this your song. Been pregnant for way too long. Now tell the DJ turn it off.
If she a baby.
And we did that, and then as you can see during the video, I was in excruciating pain. As I was doing that, I was trying my best to kind of like go through with it, but it was a lot. So I drove myself to the hospital. My husband met us there, and even driving there, like I was in so much pain that I had to pull over like maybe 15 times. I don't recommend anyone that's in labor to drive themselves to the hospital. It is not something you should do. Anyway, I get to the hospital and I'm thinking like, oh yeah, I'm about to push this baby out. Like I did it, like I'm good. I get to the hospital and I'm like, yeah, I'm definitely in active labor. The amount of pain that I'm in, like there's no way that I'm not in, you know, they're not gonna keep me. For those of you who've had children before, you know when that sensation feels like you have to go to the bathroom, do a number 2, it usually means you have to push. So I literally got into the hospital and the nurse, like, I lay on the bed and the nurse grabbed my pants, pulled them down, and she's like asking me all these questions. I could hardly answer, I could hardly breathe, I could hardly talk. So Savannah's trying to help. My husband finally gets there and he's answering some of the questions for me and stuff. And they checked my cervix.
Out through your mouth, pull out the candles.
How am I still at 0? I was ready to flip the fuck out.
You can either go home and like go through these contractions at home.
Like I was screaming, I was crying. Eyelashes was already off, it was in the car. Mascara was running everywhere, like it was bad. And I was very shocked that I was still at 0 centimeters, but I was in active labor. The only reason why they decided to keep me is because my blood pressure was extremely high. As you know, when your blood pressure is high and you're pregnant, you're at a higher risk for preeclampsia. and that's not something that they're gonna take a risk and release me from the hospital and have my blood pressure high and I have a seizure or something. That would be the hospital's liability. So they decided to admit me, which I'm so thankful for, because what I realized through now both my pregnancy is once my body starts to feel a certain amount of pain, it shuts down. So the natural things that my body should have been doing, like dilating, it wasn't doing that. Like everything, I guess everything in my body, like my brain was just sending signals that stop the pain, stop the pain, stop the pain, that it wasn't even focusing on dilating, which that was the whole point of the pain to begin with. So they gave me the epidural, thankfully. They gave me the epidural at 12:01. First of all, the nurse stuck me like 3 times, as you're gonna see. She stuck me like 3 times and she couldn't find something or some crap like that. But anyway, we finally got the epidural in, and as soon as I got it, my body finally relaxed, and I went from 0 centimeters at 12:01 to 4 centimeters at 12:15, and then by 12:35 or 12:40, I was at 7 centimeters. So like my delivery was moving so fast that they had to actually slow it down a bit. They gave me some pill to slow my contractions down. I never even heard of some shit like this. Like I thought that the faster the contractions, the better. Hey, it's working, right? That's what your body's supposed to do. But what was going on was that my son's blood pressure, heart rate started to decline. So every time I would get a contraction, his heart rate would drop. And then once the contraction would over, it would subside, but it wouldn't go back up to the normal heart rate that he was supposed to have. So then I would have another contraction, and then it would drop again. And then once the contraction was over, it would just be at its regular, you know, whatever it was at, like the low blood pressure or low heart rate that it was at. Is his heart rate good now? It's going up and down still.
It's going up and down still, but I'm not sure if we're picking up you or the baby. They'll wrap it and put an FSC in. Put it in there.
You could actually hear it on the audio when I recorded. You could hear his heart beat, but it wasn't as fast as it was previously. So unfortunately, like by the time I got to like 7.5, the doctor called it a quits. Like it was, I think it was at 7:45 or 46 or something like that, when the doctor was just like, nope, that's it, we're not doing this, we're gonna cut her open. So at that point, the doctor decided to give me a cesarean. My son was born, like I said, at 12:54. So by the time I got into the surgical room, like everything happened within like 6 minutes, no lie. Like the doctors moved super fast. They said we weren't able to record, but you know I recorded. And yeah, so this is it. This is what you're about to see.
Table all the way down. Table's all the way down. Just feel pressure. No? You want to hold it again? Yeah, it's PHE. That's 0131. And we have 1254.
Hey, my son got big balls.
First thing he said about it. Right. Like, how do you feel? Are you okay? No, my son has big balls.
Over there. Little dog. Get that man, boy.
so much better. My whole body feels so much better. Here you go. Mommy a kiss.
So yeah, thankfully that was my delivery, and I'm very thankful to the doctor. Another thing I wanted to add was that the reason they were saying that my son's heart rate was declining was because the umbilical cord was actually wrapped around his left ankle. So basically every time the contractions got tighter and stuff like that, it basically stopped his blood flow, which slowed his heart rate down. So overall, I am very thankful that my doctor's substitute, I guess, because my doctor unfortunately didn't make it in time. Like I said, everything happened so fast. You know, like doctors are on call 24 hours during the day, but no doctor, I strongly doubt if someone calls, a nurse calls and says, hey, your patient's at 0 centimeter, no doctor is gonna be like, oh yeah, I'm on my way right now. Usually it takes like hours before someone dilates to even 5. I was at 7 within 40 minutes, from zero to 7 within 40 to 45 minutes. So unfortunately my doctor was unable to do my cesarean, so she had a sub that was there, another doctor that was standing in for her, and she did my C-section, and literally I could feel at the moment when my son was out, like you can hear it on the audio where I say like, I feel it, I feel him, I feel them removing him. I didn't feel anything at all. I was awake the whole time. I had to have 2 hours of recovery because they wanted me to basically move my legs and stuff. That epidural is no joke. Like, I wish they sold it like in packs at the corner store because it's amazing. I didn't feel anything.
I can't feel anything. Honestly, babe, I can't even feel my chest.
Because of the medicine?
Can't feel.
So I did my 2 hours of recovery, and they moved me to my room. They brought my beautiful baby boy in, and yeah, just like that, I was a mother of 2. So pretty soon I will be showing you guys who he is and telling you his name and all that good stuff. But yeah, that was my labor and delivery story. So another thing is, if you guys are gonna try to do this Midwife Brew, 100% the Midwife Brew works, because I took it at, let's see, 3 o'clock that afternoon, and at 12:54 my son was born. It was the next morning, but within a few hours my son was born. So the Midwife Brew 100% works if you take it properly. And yeah, so that is my story of labor and delivery. Like always, I love you guys for watching, love you guys for listening, and I love you guys for sharing. If you haven't already, make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Please tell me you guys' like stories of your labor and your delivery, and stay tuned to my next video, and I will see you guys soon. Don't forget to turn on your notification bell, because I will be uploading a lot more videos pretty soon. Bye guys.